I see all good people now. What do you remember when you awaken in the morning? You begin to form your chores, your daily routine. And amongst the different things that cross one's mind, how many are on automatic pilot? You just go about them. You don't have to think so much about them. Maybe you go to the bathroom, you stir in the kitchen and begin to make a beverage for yourself or something along these lines. And yet remembering, as one is doing this, in my opinion, the most important thing is to take a little bit of time and reacquaint oneself with oneself. Being here in the present with yourself, with your circumstances, for sure. Finding a place where you can settle down and you can kind of cuddle into a comfortable posture and be undisturbed, that you and I can carry on our conversation without interruptions. How lucky we are is something we originate in our own minds. How lucky are you or I today? What does that mean? Does it mean you have a lot of money or none? Does it mean, more poignantly, one is aware of the gift of life and we are participating still in this incredible drama, this incredible play, as William Shakespeare says? When we begin to take a few minutes and to consider the depth and the breadth of our universe of creation, of even something as linear and kind of close to the outside of the ballpark as our solar system is, even within our own singular galaxy. Isn't this a miraculous story? You know, life on this planet has, on a multiple number of occasions, almost completely expired. 90%, 85% of all life died in cataclysmic events. Yeah. And here we are, again, risen from the ashes, the phoenix rising. That's you and me. That's us, mankind. It is not Muslim or Christian or Jew or Hindu or Pharisee, Sikh or Druid. It is mankind. It is not Asian or Iranian or Arabic, Caucasian, African, or Indian from South America. It is not one or the other. It is all of us have risen again, spreading, disseminating our kind throughout our planet, just as the birds have in their journeys through the air, and our fish have through their same journeys through the sea, as have the insects. Do you know that for each human being on our world, there are 1 billion insects? For every one of our 7 billion people, there are 1 billion insects, each thinking about what we know, what we surmise, and what we don't even fathom, which we don't even begin to conceive of, the sounds beneath and above the range that we hear, of sight, of distance or closeness. We can't distinguish, can't quite comprehend with our lenses in our eyes. Our feelings of touch, this feeling of our earth moving in seismic events. We stretch our imaginations in so many ways. We have an opportunity to be more aware, to be more sensitive, receptive. And we're only talking about the things that are the most common. What about one's own mental abilities? What about telepathy and clairvoyance and telekinesis and different, what we call spiritual or mental or extrasensory perception? Again, what are we aware of? Why? Or why not? Because maybe we've had experiences along these lines, or maybe we haven't. Everything occurs within the integrity of one's own individual, unique life, is part of one's own individual, unique life. No one else's. The things that have happened to you, happening to you, and will happen to you, are of your own creation, or the creation of the environment one finds themselves in, or one has made for themselves. Being here presently, doing the best we can to improve our environment, ourselves, our levels of awareness. This is the goal of an actively seeking mindful meditator. Please excuse me for saying this, yet it is crucially important for one's success to practice being aware every day, not once every couple of months, once a day, once a week, once a year. No. When one wants to do something, when a Homo sapien wants to do something and make it part of their lives, what does that mean? It needs to become a habit, a routine, a ritual, which we are, in essence, inundated with. It becomes an integral part of our lives. It is one's task, responsibility, discipline, perseverance, determination to accomplish this. This is what is before oneself every day. When one awakens from their restful slumber of recharging one's battery, it is a responsibility or not. It is wishful thinking, or is it a responsibility? It is our choice. Where is one's effort? Where are you lending your strength, your capabilities? Where are we allocating our time? These are the questions which need to be answered, that must be answered in one's own way. Being aware of one's breathing, the heat emanating from one's body, the pulse, representative of the blood streaming through one's arteries and veins and warming ourselves up. It is the blood which carries the warmth from your chest to your little toes. Not a wish, not a desire, but the stark reality of your heart squeezing and pressing blood, warmed in one's chest cavity by one's muscular activity of respiration and circulation, of one's lungs rising and subsiding, and one's heart pressing and relaxing. These are the facts. What are you doing with the facts? One has a pendulum, it's always in motion. It is time, or a representation of time. We have so many opportunities in every day, making the best of what we have. Do not squander your time upon this beautiful planet of ours, filled with flowers and all kinds of life. Remembering whom we are. Bundles of miracles. Humbled in our acknowledgement and awareness of the immensity of what we are a part of. Thankful for having a role in life. Being aware as one is contemplating one's posture, of the energy vibrating and shimmering through one's body, in one's mind, in one's brain. Everything is in motion, vibrating. Energy is oscillating at all times, ceaselessly, remembering just how lucky we all are. We have an ability to reason and help fashion our own lives. Being more virtuous is a wonderful and helpful goal. Being kind, compassionate, full of empathy, understanding, allowing one's mind to expand, communication, respect for all kinds of behavior, understanding where these kinds of activities begin. It is not one person's fault for the way they are, or one's advantage. It is education, it is environment, it is parenting, it is siblings, it is all of these different things, all playing a part in whom we are, whom we have been, and whom we have the capacity to become, or whom we might be. Keeping these things in one's mind as one shimmers and dances through one's smiling day, finding this, making this, persevering and becoming this. Rise, grow in your experience and wisdom. Flow. In your awareness, we have tools we can utilize. Our physicality, we can use to concentrate and focus with. Glow. Glow with the vitality of this understanding of one's own being, thermally disseminating energy into the atmosphere, and shine in one's own self-illumination. Enjoy, be curious, be joyful. If you're listening to this before, you know that I'd like to put another minute at the end just for you to Have another minute to ponder what we're talking about. Namaste.